Preparing to present to experts, overcoming imposter syndrome and connecting with highly knowledgeable audiences. Abstract. This article explores strategies for overcoming imposter syndrome and effectively communicating complex information to expert audiences. Key steps include thoroughly researching the audience's backgrounds, interests, and priorities. Acknowledging knowledge limitations upfront while highlighting relevant competencies. Tailoring content to directly address the expert's perspective and challenges. Using robust, multisource evidence to establish credibility. Confidently fielding sophisticated questions. And cultivating ongoing engagement beyond the presentation. By applying these research-backed techniques, even non-experts can connect with highly knowledgeable groups and add value through their presentations. Having to present important information to an audience of experts and professionals who are deeply knowledgeable about the topic can be intimidating. Feeling underqualified compared to the expertise of others in the room is a common experience known as imposter syndrome. However, with thorough preparation, focusing on audience needs rather than self-doubt, and presenting solutions rather than just problems, even non-experts can effectively communicate with and add value for knowledgeable groups. Today, we will explore research-backed strategies for overcoming imposter feelings and connecting with expert audiences through understanding their perspective. Demonstrating competence and cultivating credibility. Researching the expert audience. One of the most important steps in preparing for any presentation is understanding the audience. When presenting to experts, this audience analysis takes on even greater importance. Thorough research into the backgrounds, interests, and needs of expert attendees lays the foundation for an engaging and impactful presentation. Graham, Milanowski, and Miller, 2012. Some effective research strategies include reviewing organizational materials, annual reports, research publications, and websites to grasp each attendee's expertise and priorities. Searching professional biographies, credentials, and affiliations of individual experts expected to be present. Networking with contacts within the expert organization to gain insider knowledge, and perspective. Surveying a sample of attendees beforehand to identify priorities, pain points, and how the presentation can add most value. For example, when a mid-level manager at a tech startup had to present new product ideas to the advisory board of a major hospital system, she used these research tactics. By thoroughly exploring the hospital's website, past innovations, and board members' backgrounds in healthcare technology, she understood their focus on improving patient outcomes through data-driven solutions. This guided her presentation of tools showing tangible benefits rather than vague concepts. Addressing knowledge gaps while demonstrating competence. While presenters should not feign expertise they do not have, addressing knowledge limitations upfront can build rapport. Research shows admitting gaps allows audiences to focus on areas of true competence rather than suspecting other weaknesses. Jurutkin, Jine Quesenbury, and Ngwenyama, 2011. For example, acknowledge the expert's sophisticated understanding before starting the presentation. Briefly note any areas outside the presenter's depth of knowledge. Highlight credentials, experience, and intensive preparation relevant to the topic. It is also important to demonstrate competence by speaking confidently on issues within the presenter's purview. Focusing on actionable solutions the experts do not already have helps establish a shared purpose rather than positioning the presenter as a learner. For instance, when a first-year associate had to pitch a risk management framework to a board of insurance company directors, she acknowledged upfront that as a new hire she did not have their decades of industry experience. However, she then pivoted immediately to discuss her background in data analytics and passionate research into using predictive modeling for a more proactive approach, an area the board signaled was a priority. Tailoring content to expert needs and viewpoints. Once preparatory research is complete, the content and chosen presentation examples must directly address expert interests and concerns. Presentations aiming to simply share information are less compelling than those oriented toward expert problems and priorities. Thought should be given to framing the topic from the audience's perspective rather than just the presenter's involvement, focusing on implications, challenges, and opportunities. The experts themselves may be considering providing expert-level depth and nuance on issues rather than cursory overviews, using presentation examples and case studies highly relevant to the expert's work and experience levels. For instance, when an engineering project manager had to update a utility commission on the progress of a large-scale renewable energy initiative, the presentation incorporated technical details from published articles commission members had authored. It also highlighted hurdles the initiative helped address that the experienced commission likely pondered regularly in their oversight role. This engaged the experts through content attuned to their priorities and viewpoint, establishing credibility through multidimensional evidence. While expertise is credible on its own for some expert audiences, others expect presenters to prove assertions with robust, multisource evidence, research-backed facts, data visualization, and diverse case examples strengthen messages for these analytical audiences. Incorporating published studies, reports, and white papers to validate key points, clear charts, graphs, and visualizations to illustrate trends and patterns, testimonials or quotes from recognized authorities on issues, multiple varied case studies to represent the topic from different perspectives. For instance, a HR manager presenting new diversity initiatives to a healthcare nonprofit's clinical advisory board, with members skilled in research and statistics, included enrollment statistics from her own program compared to state and national benchmarks, select quotes from peer-reviewed journal articles on benefits of inclusive workplaces, and brief profiles of diverse initiatives producing positive outcomes at respected hospitals. This use of credible evidence aligned with the board's analytical expertise, fielding challenging questions with confidence. Unlike less knowledgeable audiences, experts will likely probe presenters with sophisticated, challenging questions. Being well prepared to discuss limitations and counterpositions builds credibility. By anticipating complex questions, presenters can acknowledge other viewpoints respectfully, rather than dismissal. Cite research critically, examining all sides of issues, offer qualified conclusions rather than absolutism on nuanced topics. Commit to following up on issues requiring further investigation. Invite ongoing insight and collaboration rather than assuming conclusions. For example, when a product designer pitched a new medical device prototype to physicians, clinicians probed potential downsides aggressively. The designer demonstrated research encompassing both supporting studies and critical analyses, thanked questioners respectfully for pushing her understanding, and assured openness to input, improving the idea. This aligned with the expert's aims of thorough consideration from many angles, cultivating ongoing engagement beyond the presentation while the presentation event ends. Developing ongoing relationships supports presenters connecting with expert audiences long-term. Thought should be given to expressing appreciation for the expert's time and insight through follow-up notes, offering to provide additional materials or context helpful to their work, maintaining contact database of participant areas of focus for future connectivity, exploring future collaboration, advisory roles or ongoing involvement if feasible. For instance, recognizing the value of cultivating experienced advisors. A university dean regularly shared program updates and research highlights with a board of associated alumni. This maintained visibility and ensured their ongoing engagement to provide strategic guidance beyond periodic presentations. Conclusion: presenting complex issues to audiences with more background knowledge can elicit doubts. However, with preparation demonstrating clear understanding of expert perspectives and priorities, presenters of any experience level can effectively engage knowledgeable groups. The research-backed strategies of conducting in-depth audience research, addressing knowledge limitations respectfully while spotlighting areas of competence, tailoring highly relevant content through an expert lens, establishing credibility with rigorous evidence, fielding challenging questions confidently and inviting ongoing discussion facilitate connecting with even senior professionals. While always more to learn, these principles enable non-experts to add value through presentations to audiences that may know more than them.